This episode of Chat Chow is brought to you by Simply Design, that brings you the Cup of Glass series, the only spinning, self-aerating wine and whiskey glass. Take them for a spin at Simply.com and use coupon code ChatChow to save 10% on your Simply glasses. Welcome to Chat Chow, a weekly online show celebrating the personalities in the food industry. Today we're in Yountville, California at Bouchon, and we're speaking with Chef de Cuisine Michael Sandoval. Do you know what we're drinking here today?
It's Domaine Carneros 2007 Brut.
Nice, from right here in Napa Valley.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Thank you very much.
Delicious. So we're here at Bouchon. Can you tell us what a Bouchon is?
Yeah, I mean, there's two actually different definitions of what a Bouchon is. And one, you have the restaurant, the restaurants in Lyon, France. Very, very family-oriented restaurants that traditionally or classically fed the town.
Right.
And two, the obvious or literal definition is the cork that tops the line, also known as a
Really?
Bouchon.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so our restaurant base or our bistro is definitely derived from the restaurants of Lyon.
What would you say is like the essence of French cooking? What makes it French?
French cooking, I mean, when you talk about bistros, you're really discussing historical value and simplicity to the fullest. Really something that derives from family cooking. Something that you can take one day and possibly turn into to something else the next day. And the utilization of fresh ingredients, local ingredients, and taking those things to another level. One great example of one thing into the next is our tartine, or the content of our tartine. The utilization of, say, the lamb from the previous day that was cooked to medium rare but not utilized, can then the next day be sliced thin and put on an open-faced sandwich and served to our guests as something else.
Delicious. You guys have a lot of great ingredients here in Napa.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the utilization of our garden down the street. Thanks to Chef Thomas and his vision, the ability to take food from the garden that provides solely for our company is very extraordinary.
All right, let's talk a little bit about you. So you started with Bouchon in 2003.
Yeah, it was the end of 2003 and 2004, January 27, 2004.
Wow. What have been some of the highlights of your career?
The whole thing has been really a highlight. Started as a young cook, young oyster bar cook. I was 19 years old.
Wow.
Started to attend school in Las Vegas at the time, and I was really working full time and going to school full time.
But to be a chef, or?
Yeah, it was, my degree ended up being in culinary arts management. But it was definitely a very, very intense time. Around then, working 10 to 12 hours sometimes, because I wanted to learn and be around. But
that's dedication.
It was really everybody around me that inspired me. It really had nothing to do with me. Just the environment and the opportunity that was given to me during that time, which I felt was extraordinary in itself. But with every challenge was a new beginning. And at the point where things started to feel like they were getting easy, there was a new twist in the game. Up to the point where I moved here. And I felt as a sous chef in Las Vegas. After 4 years of working there, things started to actually come together, and I was like, wow, this actually started to make sense. It's starting to get a little easier. And then you get a curveball. Being asked to move down here was, in a sense, for me, a huge challenge.
So how excited were you?
So I was very excited, but at the same time, I got to say that it's a challenge, and it's a humbling as well as a scary moment where now everything is in my hands. The success of the team, the success of individuals are in my hand, and
it's a lot of responsibility.
It's a scary moment, but I definitely hold true to the idea that it was now my turn to make sure that everybody really had the opportunity. And the opportunity that was given to me is now my responsibility to give to them.
And it's been doing great so far in your hands, so congratulations.
I feel proud of what we've accomplished the last year, through a lot of different challenges, and I'm really looking forward to this next year. Yeah.
Did you have a moment where you knew you wanted to be a chef?
Yeah, I think so. I think ultimately, and this is all honesty, it's a really funny story because I think it was my going into my junior year of high school. I was doing a lot of extracurricular things, so I was going to summer school and things like this. So I was either going to be able to graduate early or do a vocational high school thing, and I decided to stay in the same class with my friends. So I said, it's like, well, I'll do the vocational high school and I'll do some cooking classes, and they'll be so easy. And I'm like, I'm just cooking. What's harder about that? I started doing it, I'm like, wow, this is actually hard. Like, what do I have to learn? How many ounces are in a cup, and how many cups are in a pint, how many pints are in a gallon, and so forth. And eventually it became really exciting to me. And that was when I was a junior in high school. When I was a senior in high school, that's when I achieved my first job in the kitchen. And worked my entire senior year, and eventually knew that I wanted to pursue the career.
Great story. Is there a cuisine that you started with?
It was French as well.
Oh wow!
And I always felt like it was not really the cuisine that made me, but really much the techniques that were given and learned that really inspired me. And Mark Hopper was a person that actually told me this as well. He's like, I feel the same way. I have a master of technique and not so much cuisine.
Right.
So I've started to live that throughout, the last 4 or 5 years of my life, and really just focusing on technique more than cuisine.
So have you gotten like a chance at all to work with Thomas Keller?
Yeah, absolutely. I think throughout my entire time, we've had various encounters and time to work. We did an event in New Orleans together, which was great. He's in town obviously a lot. We're in Yountville. He lives here.
Yeah.
But,
he lives in Napa.
He lives in Napa. But it's definitely a true blessing. And what used to be nervousness and bubble guts around him has now resulted in something opposite of that. And now it's really more of collaboration and ideas and inspirations, which is huge leaps and bounds from previous years, from the younger years.
Sounds like you're a really hard worker. What do you like to do outside of the kitchen?
I really like to relax. Relax and.
What a better place for it.
Yeah, I do a lot of reading. Right now it's college basketball, March Madness time, so I'm really into basketball. But,
who are you rooting for?
My team was just taken out, but UNLV, where I went to school.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, they were taken out.
You're already the chef here. Where do you see yourself in like 10 years going?
It's a tough thing to say, but I hope that the next few years I start to slowly set myself up for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is just making sure that we're successful here. That the restaurant's successful, the team is successful, and eventually, helping myself be successful as well. Can I say that I'd like to open up my own restaurant? And I think that's definitely a goal of mine. I always feel that all the love, desire, and time that I give to the restaurant now, that I one day would like to give it to myself as well as my family. Right now I'd like to focus on the next few years and make sure that I'm taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to me and exceeding expectations.
Definitely. All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, I hope that.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that all the questions were answered.
Yeah. Hope we didn't take you away too long.
No, we're okay. We're okay.
They're holding it down in that.